I can see a few people join into the room. There's some more people due to join, but I want us to probably keep moving because we have a very tight schedule tonight and we have a lot of speakers this evening. So I feel like I'm sitting here reporting from the top of a cruise ship in the Mediterranean Sea, but unfortunately I'm at my dining room table right now, and I'm looking forward to the days that we can get back to sailing again. So what I want to do is firstly introduce our family section of cruise ships. Now that doesn't mean to say you have to go as a family if you go on any of these cruises, and it also doesn't mean to say you can't go as a single person, or you can't bring 3 generations or even 4. I'm just going to brag a wee bit, but I became a granny 10 days ago. So I've my first grandchild as well. So I'm delighted with that. So there could be a 3-generation cruise the next time we head away as well. So what we're going to do is we're not going to spend much time chatting, but what I would ask everyone to do is please mute your screens just so that there's no background noise when we have each of the speakers on. So we're delighted tonight for this first section, which will probably last till about 20 or 7:45, to have 3 of our leading cruise companies that we work with on our mainstream cruising, and that's Wendy from MSC Cruises. We then have David Saunderson from NCL Cruises, and then we have Michelle from Royal Caribbean. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to introduce Wendy first, and then the other speakers will come straight on after that, so that it saves time. Jason will just give you a quick message to say that the next speaker is about to start. Jason has set up all the invites and the technology for this, so he's sitting at my side here to make sure everything runs smoothly. The thing is questions. Because we have a limited time, we've actually 9 cruise companies represented tonight, which we're delighted about, but we won't have that much time for questions. So if you could send your questions to jason@thompsontvl.co.uk or call the office, we'll get back to you with any questions you have or any interest you have in any of the itineraries or the ships that you see mentioned tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to hand over to Wendy Cameron, who's our sales manager for MSC Cruises, and she's going to tell us all things family for MSC. Thank you, Wendy.
Thank you, Sharon. So I'm just going to share my screen. Are you able to allow me just to share my screen now, Sharon?
Yes.
So hi everybody, I'm Wendy, the Regional Sales Manager for MSC Cruises. So I'm going to share the MSC love with you tonight, tell you a bit about MSC. So I'm just going to hopefully share my screen with you shortly. Thank you, got that now, that's lovely. Oh. Okay, are you able to see my screen now? Can you see that okay, Sharon?
Yes, we can see
yes,
it now, yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so as I said tonight, I'm sharing the love with MSC. So first of all, I just want to show you a clip and a little bit of information about who MSC Cruises are and a little bit about our history as well. apologies, it just decided to cut itself there. So yeah, it just gives you a little introduction about who we are. So as you can see, we started off as a shipping company and launched into cruises. So started off 300 years ago and launched into cruising in 2003. So we are a family-owned company, and we're the world's largest only family-owned company, and we're run by the Aponte family, who entered the cruise market, sorry this is jumping, in 2003, and we now have 18 ships, and we are still growing. Even during the pandemic, we're still growing and we're still introducing ships, and we're going ahead with our ship expansion, looking to introduce another 12 ships to the fleet by 2027. So now I want to introduce you to our newest ship, MSC Virtuosa. She is our brand new flagship, and she literally just left the shipyard a few weeks ago. So with MSC Virtuosa, we prepare you to feel the vibrant spirit of the sea, the melodious sister ship of Grandiosa, and the 4th Meraviglia class ship in the ultra-modern MSC Cruises fleet. Named in homage to the skills and passionate expertise of our architects, Virtuosa has been orchestrated to achieve spectacular new levels of comfort, elegance, entertainment and leisure. So MSC Virtuosa is actually coming to the UK this year. She will be sailing around the British Isles from the 20th of May, which we are totally excited about. She will be the largest cruise ship to ever visit Southampton, and the largest cruise ship to sail around the UK. So she is spectacular, and I just want to share some features with her. So some of the features that, just picking out, that are new, she has 2 brand new speciality dining restaurants, so that will make 5 speciality restaurants. Sorry, this keeps jumping. 5 speciality restaurants in total. So we're going to have a total of 10 dining venues on board, 21 bars, 2,400 cabins holding over 6,000 passengers. Now, for our first sailing starting in May, due to government obviously regulations, we will be capping her at 1,000. So you can imagine, if you're going to be on one of her sailings, you're going to be rattling around this ship, you'll feel as if you have most of it to yourself. So the spectacular new features obviously include the 2 new specialty restaurants, Indochine and Ola. We also have the Starship Club, which introduces Rob, our humanoid bartender, which gives a unique futuristic experience inspired by our vision of a spaceship of the future. And for families on board, we will have new technology in our teen lab, the Hologate Arena, which is a multiplayer virtual reality attraction that transports players into a new dimension. So that's just a couple of the features. I've only got 10 minutes tonight. I could go on, but I just want to sort of highlight a couple of the features that we have. MSC Virtuosa is designed to provide a dazzling and dynamic holiday experience, and at the heart of MSC Virtuosa is our breathtaking indoor promenade, which extends over 112 metres and is covered by a dramatic LED sky dome. The promenade is a hub for onboard activity of all kinds. It's home to shops, a bistro, restaurant, lively bars and other exciting venues to welcome all our guests. Any time of day or night, there's always something to do, try or taste at the indoor promenade. The ship offers endless fun for the whole family, so it's great for families, but don't get me wrong, if you're not a family, you will not see loads of kids running around. So it's for the whole family. Obviously offers lots of kids facilities, which I'll go into, but we also do have the plush theatre, the glamorous casino, a high-tech disco, 10-pin bowling alley. We have 5 swimming pools, Formula 1 simulators and an interactive multi-storey aqua park with its Himalayan bridge. The packed programme of entertainment, sorry, it's jumped again, of entertainment activities on each cruise includes stage shows, concerts and movies, as well as team games, quizzes and theme parties. With so many different options to choose from, the only problem is deciding what you want to do first. So looking at the families, and as I say, we are a family company, so families are at the heart of everything that MSC Cruises do. Every MSC cruise is full of fun and discovery for kids and teenagers, and we offer price reductions right up until the age of 17 years old, which is fantastic. So starting with all the activities organised just for them and are included in the fare. We have a packed programme of sports, games, parties, high-tech play and more. Children will enjoy endless excitement with their new friends. Young guests can discover a world of their own in the 5 clubs. So again, we have clubs ranging from 1 to 17 years old, and they are well looked after by our multilingual personnel, which are all certified for safeguarding children. Our kids clubs, sorry, these slides keep jumping, open every day. Sorry, I'm just going to go back to that. Each club offers a range of activities designed for the relevant age group. Okay, and also just want to highlight MSC Cruises are actually the winner of 6 international awards as the best cruise line for families. So now I just want to introduce you to our stress-free cruising. So obviously during this current pandemic, as I say, Virtuosa will be sailing around the British Isles in the upcoming months, starting on the 20th of May. We are welcoming all, well, first of all, we're only welcoming UK and Northern Ireland residents of all ages, both vaccinated and unvaccinated guests. All unvaccinated or partially vaccinated guests will need to take a PCR or lateral flow swab test prior to arriving at the port. The test is not required for fully vaccinated or under 2-year-old guests. Just to make you aware as well, MSC Grandiosa, which is MSC Virtuosa's sister, has actually been sailing in the Med since August 2020. And we have carried over 60,000 passengers safely. So what I would like to do now is just show you a short video on what life is like on board a cruise ship during this pandemic.
sento talmente sicuro che ho portato qui a bordo anche i miei figli. Tutte le operazioni, sia dall'imbarco che a bordo che durante le cene, gli spettacoli, sono tutte organizzate molto bene.
Non siamo veterani, è la nostra esperienza sulla nave, ci siamo parecchio divertiti.
La trovo più sicura di un'altra qualsiasi vacanza, secondo me. Divertimento, relax, tutto ciò che uno si aspetta dalla crociera è stato rispettato in pieno.
It's vital that everybody follows the protocols. Everyone is very safe. We have the COVID test before you embark. We also have temperature checks when we go into the restaurants or the buffets. So safety for everybody is paramount.
Okay, so that just gives you an insight as to what life is like. So as I confirmed, MSC Virtuosa will perform her maiden voyage around the British Isles this year, giving their guests and families an opportunity for a much deserved and all-inclusive holiday. She will initially operate 6 mini cruises with embarkation in Southampton from the 20th of May and will include a stop in Portland and Dorset. These will be followed by a series of 7-night sailings, providing embarkation also in the ports of Greenock in Scotland and Liverpool. From the June the 12th, holidaymakers can then enjoy the 7-night sailings that will include embarkations in Belfast, Liverpool and Greenock. Packages are now on sale and selling well. 3-night breaks start at £399 per person and 7 nights lead in at £899 per person. Included in this price is everything you would expect from an MSC cruise: full board, luxurious accommodation with modern comforts, choice of entertainment, fitness centre, kids and teen clubs. For these sailings also, the premium drinks package and gratuities will also be included, so you can just see the amazing value that we are offering. Guests of all ages are welcome, and we look forward to welcoming you on board very, very soon. If you would rather wait until, apologies, possibly to later in the year or next year, MSC Virtuosa is actually sailing from Dubai from November this year right through into March 22. And again, we are doing flights from Dublin out to Dubai, and they lead in at a price of £107 night for a 7-night cruise. And then alternatively, we do have fly cruise packages also from Dublin out to the Eastern Med and Western Med as well for summer 22. So lots of opportunities, which obviously you can discuss with both Sharon and Jason. Just want to say, Sharon, it's lovely to see you. I've not seen you for the whole year, so lovely to see you. But I just want to thank you for listening, and hope that's helped, and we look forward to welcoming you back on board very, very soon.
Thank you, Wendy. Thank you very much. We're just going to quickly go on now to David from NCL. I nearly said MSC there again. So we're going to ask David Saunderson to go ahead with this presentation. If we can ask you to try and stick to your time of 10 minutes. I know it's difficult. There's so much to tell. And I heard a quote today, and it was, "Land was created for ships to visit." And I think when you consider the amount of cruise ships there are now that we have to talk about, it takes a lot more than 10 minutes. But thank you so much, Wendy, and hopefully I'll see you in the flesh soon in the office. Thank you. Thank you. Right, David.
Hi there, Sharon. Thanks. I'll let you off with the wrong name there. Okay, I will try and stick. I'll try and stick to my 10 minutes as very best as possible. So let me just try and share my screen here, and as long as we know it's sharing, can you see my screen there, Sharon? Can you know it?
I can just see you with palm trees swaying in the background.
No, nothing ever goes right. Hold on, I pressed every button possible. Hold on, let's just try this again. 2 seconds. Here we go. If all went well, it wouldn't be as much fun, would it?
No, that's you now, David.
Right, okay, okay. Slideshow. Right, let's get cracking. So welcome from myself and from the guys at Thomson International Travel and Cruise Counter. You know what, let's just crack on. I want to show you guys what you have been missing by not being out at sea with Norwegian.
Pull back the shades on a blue sky, sunny day. Watch all the worries of the world just sail away. An ocean, keep your heart wide open. I'm too busy feeling this free. Hey, 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 come on and celebrate. Hey, 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 if this so good, go ahead. Hey, 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 don't let them want to slip away. Big time, so let's go. Let's go. Open your eyes and free your soul. You picked the perfect time, so let's go. Let's go. Taking a breeze with the magic kind of feel. All that you need is right in front of you. So much to see, so much to do. I'm too busy feeling this free. Hey, 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 don't let them moment slip away. Hey, 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 if you're so good, go ahead, open your eyes and free your soul. You picked the perfect time, so let's go, let's go. Let's go.
How cool is that? You get to see what a cruise ship and holiday should be all about. So, Norwegian Cruise Line, we are the world's second largest cruise company with 3 brands under our belt. There's Norwegian Cruise Line, Oceania and Regent, but I represent Norwegian Cruise Line, or NCL. Normally we have 17 ships out at sea visiting 122 countries and over 300 ports of call. And we're adding on to those 17 ships with 5 ships on order, with our new ship joining us in the summer of 2022. So when I joined the company, I said to people I was moving to Norwegian Cruise Line, they said, oh, that's lovely, you just go back and forward to Norway. Oh, Lordy me, no. We go to several places all around the world, whether it's Europe, the Caribbean, Asia, Canada, New England, Antarctica, you name it, we go there, and there's such a variety of destinations. We're on sale just now, right through until Q1 of 2024. And that's what's been amazing, that people are still booking up for 22, 23 and 24 to make sure that they get the cabin of their choice, and they get an absolute bargain by booking early with a low deposit of £50 per person. So far more to Norwegian than just Norway. We obviously haven't been out at sea for a while, and we just announced last week that we're returning to sea with 3 fantastic ships. We have Norwegian Jade, which will be sailing out of Athens from the 25th of July, doing 7-night cruises around the Greek Isles. Our first cruise on the 25th of July has actually sold out. The demand for it early days was absolutely phenomenal for people just wanting to get away this year and have a guarantee of sunshine and a safe cruise environment to sail in. In addition to that, we have another ship of a similar size to Jade, which is Norwegian Gem, which is going to be based out of Dominican Republic. It's sailing into those big ticket islands of Barbados, St. Lucia, Antigua and St. Martin. Those islands have got an absolute wow about them as far as the Caribbean is concerned. When you fly into Dominican Republic, you can either fly into the airport of Punta Cana or fly into the airport of Santo Domingo, and we sail from La Romana, which is about 30 minutes from either of those airports. So we start the Caribbean routes on the 15th of August going out from Dominican Republic. Now those 2 ships take approximately 2,300 guests, and if you want to get a total wow, on the 7th of August, Norwegian Joy, which is one of our largest ships, taking over 3,500 guests, will be sailing out of Jamaica, out of Montego Bay. And that'll be taking in the resorts of Rotan in Honduras, Cozumel, and also Harvest Key, which is our private resort in Belize, then back to Jamaica to Ocarius, and then on to Montego Bay. Now, a great idea for both of the Caribbean cruises would obviously be to add on, say, a 7-night land holiday in Dominican Republic, or the same over in Jamaica, and that's something the guys at Cruise Counter will be able to make a bespoke package for you to do, and a lovely cruise and stay holiday if you choose to sail away this year. And we get the thumbs up from the government to say it's all paid to sail. Now, whilst we've not been sailing, we're doing lots of precautionary measures to ensure that our ships and our crew are fully safe and sound whilst on board the ship. So we're taking a lot of measures pre-cruise and on board. We've got different protocols in place. All of our guests and crew will have to be vaccinated fully and have proof of their vaccinations. We'll be using an awful lot more contactless apps, so you have to make sure that you have got your app downloaded for your phone to use the QR codes to choose from menus and to do various different things on board. Things like the check-in might take slightly longer because we obviously have to have social distancing in place for our check-in at the different ports. And there'll be a lots more of washy-washy men and women on board the ships, making sure that your hands are cleaned. Face coverings will be required on board the ship at certain points. When you're sitting down by the poolside, they'll not be required. When you're having a drink or you're having a meal, they'll not be required. So all of these precautionary measures, which I'm sure you'll all agree are vital to have for any holiday, these will ease in time. But currently, this is the measures that we have in place to make sure that it's safe for all of our guests on board the ships. We've done an awful lot to try and upgrade all the health and safety measures whilst the ships have not been sailing. And we have superb air filter systems which have been upgraded to make sure that no nasty wee bugs can get through there. All of our ships and our embarkation ports will be totally disinfected and sprayed pre-cruise, post-cruise, and even if you're coming off board to do a shore excursion. We've enhanced our medical facilities on board like you would expect, and actually if there's any breakout of anything at all, we will have extra capacity in designated areas on board the ship so that we can accommodate our guests in a very safe environment. We have dedicated public health officers on board our ship to ensure that the day-to-day running of the ship from a sanitisation and cleanliness point of view is adhered to by all of our staff and by all of our passengers on board. If you do decide to take an excursion with us during the months of July and August, you will be required to take an excursion provided by Norwegian Cruise Line. That is not to make sure that we earn some more money, genuinely. That is there to make sure that you take an excursion with the cruise excursion companies that we're working with to ensure that they are taking the same measures as we are. It's all about keeping people safe and clean and healthy. That's what it's all about. And like I said earlier, when these measures start to change worldwide, we will start to ease these measures, and you've been informed prior to your cruise and whilst on board if any measures do change. Now let's get off the serious stuff. If you are booked to travel with us up to the end of October of this year, we will allow you under our peace of mind policy to change your cruise to a later date. You simply contact Cruise Counter if you're booked and ask them to use peace of mind. We will give you a future cruise credit toward your next cruise, or you can apply for a refund. It's giving you a degree of flexibility to say if you're booked to travel with us up to October of 2021. And hopefully a lot of our guests, as previous, have stayed with us and are looking forward to getting back out to sea. What is different about Norwegian compared to other brands? It's all about freedom and flexibility. You wear what you like. We don't tell you it's Monday night and you need to wear your dinner suit. You dress according to the venue that you're going to. It's all about dressing to suit you. It's your holiday, and our dress code is resort casual. You'll not see anybody going into our venues in the evening into the main dining in shorts or t-shirts. We have a polite notice up outside, and our guests and our staff do adhere to that. You eat where you like and when you like. We do not believe in having fixed dining times or telling you that you're on table 42 on the main dining at 6:30 every night with 14 other people you've never met. It's your holiday. You can book a table ahead, or if you turn up to any of our restaurants, whether it's a complimentary or a specialty dining, if there's space available, we'll seat you straight away. If not, we'll give you an approximate waiting time. We give you a little buzzer, and when the light flashes, you come back and you walk straight in. It couldn't be easier. We've also got flexibility with the variety of accommodations we have on board. Whether you're a single traveller, maybe staying in one of our staterooms offering great value for money, or you're on an inside ocean view balcony, or even staying in our luxury haven, which is our 5-star proposition on board our ship. Our ships really are like floating resorts out at sea. We've got freedom and flexibility to do what you like and when you like. We're very good for a variety of guests, whether you're a young couple, you're a family, you're an older guest, or maybe you're a multi-generational family all traveling together because you haven't seen one another for so long. There's flexibility in our floating resorts for dining and a variety of accommodation. Entertainment is absolutely tenfold on board Norwegian. We have the top Broadway shows such as Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. We have Jersey Boys, Kinky Boots, Footloose, something there for everyone to get your toes tapping to enjoy that. And those Broadway shows, which would normally cost you maybe 50, 60 pounds for a ticket, that's included in the cost of your cruise. How fantastic is that? Superb destinations, as I mentioned earlier on, and the peace of mind to change your cruise for 2021. When you book your cruise through Cruise Counter, they'll give you a lead-in price for your cruise, and on top of that, you simply add on our free sea packages. This costs you £99 per person to upgrade on a 7-night cruise. And for £99, you can choose two of our packages. The open bar, which has got a variety of branded name premium drinks. You hear people at our bars asking for not just a red wine, they will ask for a Rioja or for a Merlot. And if you want a gin and tonic, people are more inclined to say it like a Hendrix and Fever Tree or like a Bombay Sapphire. So it's all branded names you have in the open bar. So you can choose two of these, the open bar, specialty dining, a short excursion credit of $50 per person per port of call, up to 250 minutes free Wi-Fi, or you can indeed choose a friends and family rate for your third and fourth passengers, paying a tax-only rate of approximately £140 for the entire cruise. So you can see there's a sliding scale for the free sea package according to the duration of your cruise. It is superb value for money. If you were a family, let's say you're traveling with one of your kids, the mum and dad might take the open bar and the short excursion credit, and for the young one, they can add on a soda package, which would cost for a child $40 for a 7-night cruise and about approximately $55 for an adult. So it's dead easy to add that on if your children on board the ship itself. To give you an idea of some great prices, we're offering a 30% discount and choose two of the free sea packages for £99. And from that, here's some superb deals you can get booked straight away. If you fancy going in Jade, which I mentioned earlier on, going around the Greek Isles and going out from Athens, you can fly from Belfast via London on the 31st of October, and that's coming in at an amazing £831 per person. It's so easy. Pop down to the city airport, park your car, go over to Heathrow with BA, your bags are checked right through, your transfers are included, and your baggage allowance is included. You could obviously make that a Dublin flight, nip down to Dublin, it's up to you, but it's great to have something going out from Belfast. We've also got Norwegian Encore going out in February of next year, doing a 7-night Caribbean cruise from Miami, coming in at £1,533, again inclusive of your flights. If you're doing a long haul fly cruise with us, such as the Caribbean, we also include in that your pre-accommodation over in Miami. So that's going to give you actually 9 nights in total, your flights over, 1 night in Miami, a 7-night cruise, and then an overnight flight back with British Airways through London back into Belfast City. Looking at another couple of options here, there's a cruise only deal available on the 28th of June next year on Epic going out from Barcelona. A family of 4 can get the cruise only at £2,920. The flights will drop into the system approximately 11 months prior. Just call the guys at Cruise Counter and they can drop in the flights for you from Belfast, flying out on any of the carriers such as EasyJet going out there from Belfast into Barcelona directly. Another superb deal, and something a wee bit different, is maybe look at Canada and New England. How fantastic is that? Jump on a flight to New York next September, have a few nights shopping around New York and take in the sights, and add on a cruise to Canada and New England for £658 per person. So that is just a snapshot of some of the fabulous deals that we have available through Cruise Counter to whet your appetite. We're finding people now have been booking far ahead and booking longer destinations and looking at booking bucket list destinations. So try and think ahead. If you haven't had a holiday for a year or for a couple of years, then look at upgrading to a balcony and taking advantage of having maybe some more leave up your sleeve and maybe taking a longer cruise rather than just a standard 7-night cruise. So that is as much as I can rabbit on at for 10 minutes before I get shouted at by Sharon. So hopefully it has given you a bit of an update on what our brand's like. I've stuck to my 10 minutes, which I'm proud of. Yeah. And hopefully we maybe get to see some of you guys on board and have a lovely evening. And hopefully you've all got a wee glass of wine at hand as well.
Thank you so much, David. Thanks for joining us, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
No, you take care.
Thank you.
Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye. And now we're going to have Michelle from Royal Caribbean. Michelle is waiting patiently in the wings, so I'm not going to delay her any longer. We're running a bit late. So I'm just going to ask Michelle if she's ready to come into the room now. I think she's already here.
Absolutely, I'm here.
Okay,
I'll
Michelle.
share my screen with you now. Great to see you, Sharon. Great to see everybody.
You too. And you're under pressure now for 10 minutes.
Oh gosh, well, I'll put on my speediest accent.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Take it away.
Slideshow. I'm avoiding any videos for the want of any technical errors. I've learnt my lesson over the last 12 months just to keep it straight and simple. But of course, if you do pop onto the Cruise Counter or onto Thompson Travels social media channels, you will see a wealth of videos and content on there as well. So my name is Michelle. I am here to tell you why Royal Caribbean is the perfect choice for your next family getaway. Our slogan at the moment is a holiday worth waiting for, and hopefully by the end of this very quick 10 minutes, you will also think the same. Now, flying through. So we have 51 years of extraordinary experiences on board with 25 award-winning ships. And we truly believe that there is something for everyone on board, whether you're going as a family, a group, a couple, even if you have a multi-generational gang of you, like we said before, with everything that's gone on this year, this is the perfect chance for everybody, all the family of all ages, to get together. And as well, with the size of the ships, you know, if you do go on holidays with your family and they're driving you mad after 2 days, you can just go to opposite ends and different shows and still have your own space while you are on board. This is just a quick overview to see that we're not just Caribbean, despite it being in the name. We do, this is for 2022. So we will have no less than 7 ships in Europe in summer 2022, but you can go further afield for anybody looking for that bucket list destination. It's been 12 months since you've gotten out and about, so you know, maybe you are really looking to make it one that you will never forget. We'll have 4 ships in Alaska, 8 ships down in the Caribbean, even a ship doing Canada and New England, and further afield even with Asia, and even down to Australia and New Zealand. If you do have any family that you might not have seen in quite some time now that are down under, you can tie it in with a cruise, maybe even meet them on board and go on a nice cruise down around New Zealand and the South Pacific as well. With Royal Caribbean, we have such strong values from everybody, starting with the stateroom attendants and everybody on board, working right up to myself and everybody that actually works on shore as well. We like to call it the Royal Way. With our stateroom attendants, anybody who has been on board before will hopefully agree with me that they really do make your stays so magical with their incredible attention to detail. We like to think we were the previous elf on the shelf with the towel on the bed. When you come in after your turn down service, you'll often see the towels in little shapes like monkeys, maybe hanging off your showers and things like this, which kids get a great buzz out of, and adults alike. Personally, I love it. Our dining staff are incredibly attentive as well to make sure that you have some incredible culinary experiences on board and are ready and waiting for any dietary requirements that you may throw at them. They are looking for challenges at this stage, so you will absolutely be covered no matter what kind of food you are looking for, whether it's relaxed buffet dining or all out formal nights as well. Then we of course have our kids club. Our Adventure Ocean is award winning. We really take pride in our kids club in that it's not just kind of a one for all. It really is broken up per age, per requirement, per attitude, per hobby influence as well. And there is different styles, different age groups to fall into. Whatever it is that you'd like to do, it is there, and there are some incredible people on hand to help you or to look after your kids as well. Well, maybe you're out sunning yourself on deck, so you get a holiday out of it as well. Just a quick one on our redeployment for 2021. It is very exciting to be able to talk about ships being back on sea after a long 12 months. Starting with our Jewel of the Seas that is going to be sailing out of Limassol in Cyprus. Now, this is open to any guests that want to come on board, but they will have to have be fully vaccinated against COVID-19, as will the crew. If you are over 18, you'll need to prove that you are fully vaccinated. under 18, you will have to provide a negative PCR test before you board. I will go into further detail on some of the onboard or some of the requirements as well in a few. But just a quick overview, Quantum of the Seas has actually been sailing out of Singapore for a little while now and sailing extremely successfully. It's only open to local residents and it is jam-packed every week that it does sail out. It is going down so well. Then looking over in the Caribbean, we've got Adventure and Vision of the Seas going out of fantastic Caribbean itineraries, and our wonderful brand new game-changing Quantum Ultra class ship Odyssey of the Seas literally landed in Haifa in Israel this morning, and that is going to be sailing out of Haifa for the summer. Now it is currently only open to Israeli guests, but we are so excited to see what it is like on board because nobody's ever sailed on this ship before. It is literally brand new. And then very close to home, we have Anthem of the Seas, which is going to be doing our British Isles cruises, available for all UK residents, including Northern Ireland, going out of Southampton. Now, Anthem of the Seas, while British Isles cruises might not be the most attractive to people that do come from the British Isles, Adventure of the Seas is Anthem of the Seas even is an adventure and a destination to itself. If you're thinking about going on staycations and the likes, this is literally a destination at sea. Whether you are going up in your North Star, which is your London Eye style pod that takes you 300 foot above sea level, you actually have surf simulators on board as well with our Flow Rider. Believe it or not, we even have skydiving simulators on board as well with our Ripcord by iFly. Then we've got bumper cars, laser tag, archery. One of our first at sea was a rock climbing wall at sea. You can even get scuba certified on board, and we even have a trapeze school on board as well. So literally something there to whet everybody's appetites. And that's not to mention our entertainment. Our Quantum class ships have this entertainment area called 270, and it is magical. It is at the aft of the ship and it takes over 3 decks, and it is just mind-blowing, the performances they put on there. So you can get anything from live orchestra to original productions, even like Cirque du Soleil type activity or performances. And then of course we have Broadway at sea, and the show will be We Will Rock You is going to be one of our performances, as well as Grease. And you can have all of these activities that I've just gone through with you are absolutely 100% included in the price of your cruise as well. There's no hidden costs when it comes to entertainment or any of these activities on board. Now, very quickly, just some steps that we are taking to make sure that you stay as absolutely safe and healthy as possible on board. There will be 100% fresh filtered air throughout the ship, as well as medical grade cleaning standards. We'll also have upgraded medical facilities and expert care on board, and very importantly, a safe and timely return home in any scenario. We'll also have our brand new Royal Caribbean mobile app, which will make everything even more contactless on board. And then before you board, like I mentioned, you will have to have proof of your vaccination, or if you're under 18, your negative PCR test. And then with our app as well, there will be a health questionnaire that you will need to fill in, as well as a staggered arrival time for check-in, and your boarding passes on there as well. Now, if you do book before the 31st of May, and if anything comes up, whether you're nervous about traveling, travel restrictions change, anything goes wrong, you can cancel up to 48 hours before you travel on any sailings right through to the end of April 2022. If you do cancel, you will get 100% future cruise cert. This future cruise cert needs to be redeemed by the 30th of April 2022, but you can have it on sailings right through to the 30th of September 2022. So if you do want to push it out into summer 2022, or even late summer, August, September 2022, absolutely no problem whatsoever. That future cruise cert will be sitting there, and there's no restrictions on it. You can use it on any sailings around the world. Also, up until April 2022, we have our best price guarantee. So if a better offer comes up in the meantime, up until the end of April, you can either, if you're outside your final payment, you'll get it back as a refund. Within your final payment, you'll get it as onboard credit to be used throughout your sailing. So serious confidence in there, guys. Whether something changes, whether you decide not to go, you're not comfortable, no problem. There's a fantastic safety net there for you. Now, down to the fun stuff. Allure of the Seas. Allure of the Seas is going to be what I like to say our bells and whistles, family favorite, probably favorite child of the fleet in Europe anyway for summer 2022. It is our Oasis class ship, and it is actually our most award-winning ship as well. It has won awards for best large cruise ship, best for entertainment, and best individual ship. It is an Oasis class ship, so it's the biggest of the ships that are out there at sea, and it has, when I say something for everyone, I literally mean everyone. Whether you're looking for serious dining and delicacies, you're looking for a kids club that is literally award-winning. We've got our firsts at sea, like our rock climbing wall and our flow rider, which is our surf simulator. We actually have a zip line that goes across the ship. It's got an aqua theater that has these, when I say breathtaking, I literally mean you will be holding your breath and you won't even realize it, performances. And then of course you've got your relaxing spas as well, and the likes of your splashaway bay and your pools all across the ship. There is 19 restaurants and bars across the ship as well, so you will be absolutely spoiled for choice. I have yet to go on a ship on a week-long holiday and gotten to every single dining option or bar even. And I have tried, I really have, but there is so much to do on board. You really will be incredibly spoiled for choice. Allure of the Seas is going to be sailing out of Barcelona for summer 2022 and taking in incredible spots around the Western Med. And there is a couple of sea days included in there as well, because trust me, you want them. You don't go on a ship like this without wanting to spend time on the ship. It is absolutely phenomenal and a firm family favorite for sure. Now, want to introduce a bit further away from home. We have our newest home port in Bridgetown, Barbados. This is going to be sailing on Grandeur of the Seas, starting in December 2021, right through until April 22. So if you're too eager, as I am, to wait for summer 2022, this is the perfect option for you to get culture, to get sunshine, to get that incredible Royal Caribbean quality, as well as destinations around the Caribbean every day, on your stops every day. We have some fantastic itineraries, including our 7-night Southern Caribbean island hop, our Southern Caribbean adventure, and even 14-night ultimate Caribbean adventures with late and overnight stays, taking in 3 new ports, which include Tobago, Trinidad, and Kingstown, St. Vincent. You can also go to St. Lucia. You can go to Aruba. There is just absolutely phenomenal itineraries on there if you are looking for a little bit of winter sunshine. And you can fly from Belfast. There's actually incredible rates out of Belfast at the moment. You can go via London or via Manchester, and then a straight shot down to Barbados. The best bit, you don't need your ESTAs, you don't need to worry about stopping off in the States, you don't need to worry about any of these mad pre-clearance. Straight down to Barbados, hop on the ship and off you go. But I would definitely recommend doing an extra couple of nights before or after, for sure, because Barbados in itself, stunning itinerary, or stunning destination. Now, sticking with the Caribbean, we also have our perfect day at Coco Cay, which is our private resort island in the Bahamas. It is truly just the perfect spot for families. We have what we like to call the thrill and the chill, which are 2 separate sides of the island. On one side here, like as you can see in front of you, we have the Oasis Lagoon. This is the largest freshwater lagoon or pool in the Caribbean. As you can see, so much space there. If you want to lounge around, you've got swim up bars, you've got shallow areas, deeper areas. It is absolute paradise here. Then we have our Splashaway Bay, which is similar to our Splashaway Bay, which is our largest kids pool area on board as well. So again, you still have that Royal Caribbean feel and vibe once you get off the ship. Then we have our Thrill. We have the Thrill Water Park, which consists of 2 towers and 13 slides, including Daredevil's Peak, which at 135 feet is the largest, the tallest slide in North America. So for anybody that does have those kids that are looking for, you know, you can add it on even as a 4-nighter. It doesn't have to be part of a 7 or a 14-nighter. It can be done as an addition if you are looking for that Orlando experience. Maybe you're doing a 2-week family holiday. Stick a 4-nighter on some of our amplified ships, including Navigator and Mariner. And trust me, it is better than any kind of theme park that you could think of. Then, of course, we do have our Up, Up and Away, which is our hot air balloon that actually goes 450 feet above sea level, when it gives you the highest vantage point in the Bahamas. We have a zip line that goes across the island as well. And then we have incredible dining and drinks on board as well. The beauty of the island is it is owned by Royal Caribbean. It's only going to be Royal Caribbean guests on shore, and everything carries over. So it's still full board options across the island. If you have an all-inclusive drinks package on the ship, you'll also have it on the island. So you can literally pop on and not worry about spending a penny and still have the perfect day. And then if you did want the chill, if the thrill isn't exactly for you, or if you've members of your group or your family that want to get away from it a little bit, we have over in South Beach, you know, at some resorts you have swim up bars, we have swim out bars. You're literally sitting in the middle of the Bohemian waters having a cocktail. You can go paddleboarding, you can go chasing turtles, and there are excursions as well. You can go out and swim with the pigs, which is a famous Bohemian excursion as well. All available right from South Beach as well. Now, just some pricing to go through with you. This is one of our Anthem of the Seas itineraries that I was talking about. So from the 7th of July, you can do a 4-nighter. Now, this is flight only, but obviously if you talk to the lovely Sharon and any of the guys in the cruise counter, they'll be able to package these up for you as well. And then this lead in from 559. Again, you see all of the activities that I've gone through earlier on are absolutely included on board. So this is a 4-night. Essentially, it's a cruise to nowhere, but it is a destination in itself. I don't even think 4 nights would be enough to get around Anthem of the Seas and get all that involved, or get to see all that is involved. And then we have our Allure of the Seas, as I mentioned, our most awarded ship. This particular price here is for an interior stateroom on the 26th of June for 2 adults and 2 children sharing, including your flights from Belfast. So that is at 3790. And then this is your full board price as well. Also includes your flights, your transfers, and checked luggage per person as well. And then for anybody that has a bigger family, I'm personally a 2+3 family, and we're the smallest family in our family as well. So this, we do have family suites or family options as well on board for those bigger families. They're called our spacious family rooms. We have spacious interiors, spacious ocean views, and spacious balconies on there as well that can fit 5+ people or 5+ families in there. This particular price is just a cruise only. It's very easy though to get your flights, your transfers and everything added on as well, but just to give you a little insight into that as well. And they are, I think a lot of people don't realize that these are there, and there is incredible space on board. If you do book with the brilliant guys at the cruise counter this weekend before Monday, you can get up to $350 onboard credit as well. This will go such a long way if you're looking for drinks packages, specialty dining, excursions, even the odd handbag as well in our duty free on board. There is a wealth of things that you can use with this, and you can use it on your pre-cruise planner beforehand as well and get everything lined up. So once you get on board, you are good to go. So make sure you get your inquiries in, guys, and get those bookings in before the end of the day on Monday. And finally, just to show you what separates Royal Caribbean from the competition. We have ships like no other. We have an incredible wealth of firsts at sea. We're very proud of all of our firsts at sea. We have entertainment and activities like no other. We have food and drink experiences like no other. And we have adventures like no other. So I really promise you, and I guarantee, as somebody that takes their own family on board, and when I say my family, I literally mean aunts, uncles, cousins, the whole shebang. I have another one planned for summer, a reunion for summer 2022 on Allure of the Seas herself, and I am slightly terrified to have to be with them all again after such a long time, but you know, like every family is, I think. And I promise you, you will have an experience like no other. The one thing we do say, if you go on an Oasis class ship, the only problem is you will never look back, and you will constantly have to keep building on that. And that's not exactly the worst complaint to have either. So thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate you taking some time out of your lovely Thursday evening. And any queries that come through, Sharon, please feel free to give me a shout as well. I would be absolutely happy to help with anything. And if there's any questions or anything like that, just give the gang a shout. I think, Sharon, you're as knowledgeable about this now as I am as well. So
thank you so much, Michelle. Thank you so much for your time.
No problem at all.
For taking up your Thursday evening. It's lovely to see you again after a year as well. So thank you.
No.
We're going to quickly move on because that was just a little snapshot to everyone about our family holidays. And it's lovely to see those ships. To be honest with you, I've had the experience of most of them, which has been amazing. And one of the big highlights that everyone seems to mention at the minute is the safety and cleanliness on board. But let's be honest, any cruise ship I've ever been on has always had high sanitation and cleanliness. And we've all a responsibility ourselves to not bring anything onto the ships. And even before COVID, you did have to sign forms that you didn't have any respiratory related things or sickness before you went onto a ship. Long before this, I often reflect and say that a number of years ago, we were told to bring only 100 mils of liquid on a flight. And that seemed a big, massive change in all our luggage arrangements. But we've now just got on into a routine that we take 100 mils of liquid in hand luggage and we don't think anything of it because it's now something we've got used to. So if we want to continue with our lives and what we want to do and the experiences that we want to have, I think we'll have to think of ways around that. And I have to say, cruise ships and cruise liners and companies have been so proactive this year, has for us. They've supported us brilliantly and they continue to do so. And even the fact that we have 9 of them on here tonight on a Thursday evening is testimony to that. So thank you guys. We're going to move on now to our luxury brand. We're not saying that the last cruise ships weren't luxurious, but we're just trying to target different market areas and let people look at the options. So we have Megan from Crystal coming on now, then we have Amanda from Silversea, and then we have Pauline from Celebrity. And in one of those categories today, I was actually checking a cruise for Australia, New Zealand for February 23, and I could only get 1 cabin left in the category that I wanted. So it gives you some idea of the number of people who have already moved to next year or moved to a future cruise from a previous ship, or they're booking because they haven't gone on a holiday for the last 18 months or so, or maybe even the year before because they skip a year on these holidays. So I'm going to hand over, if Megan's here from Crystal, and she's going to tell us a wee bit about some of the creme de la creme cruises that are out there. Thank you very much, Megan.
Thank you. Let me just share that.
And if I can just ask Megan, if we can try to stick to your 10 minutes. I know it's difficult.
I will. I'll do my best.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, there we go. So yes, as we said, it is a really busy time when we're looking ahead into these future cruises, and the market is really, really popular. But I'm going to introduce you this afternoon very briefly to the Crystal Cruises brand. We are probably most well known for our ocean cruises. We have just 2 ships, Crystal Symphony and Crystal Serenity. They're kind of mid-sized ships, but we carry a lot less passengers, and that was really where we started, and we've won the World Best Award many times on these ships, and since then the brand has evolved and we've launched into river cruising. We do yacht cruising as well. And later in this presentation, I'm also going to talk to you about our newest ship, Crystal Endeavour, which is our brand new expedition ship. But firstly, I just want to give you a really brief overview about what makes Crystal so special and what are some of the hallmarks of Crystal. And so firstly, we are an all-inclusive brand. So absolutely everything on board, what you pay before you leave, unless you're kind of buying some fridge magnets while you're away or a glass of wine in a nice bar in the port of call, you're really not going to be spending much on the ship. So it is open bars all across the ship, and that is premium fine champagnes, top-notch spirits. The food really is Michelin-inspired cuisine. It is absolutely stunning, and we have the only Nobu restaurants at sea. So Chef Nobu has restaurants all over the world. If you've ever been to the one in Soho or anywhere in the world, really, it's going to cost you upwards of £100 per person, and that's completely complimentary with us on board. We have a whole raft of enrichment programs from guest speakers. We've had astronauts on board, PGA golfers, all sorts of special guests that come on board and speak, as well as specialists in marine biology or different destinations. And that is all completely complimentary, as well as the nightly entertainment. Unlimited Wi-Fi, so as much Wi-Fi as you need, whether you need to work and keep in touch with home for those FaceTime calls, whatever it is you need, you'll be able to do that on the ship. And your gratuities, so all your tips are included. So that's for bar staff, that's for housekeeping, that's for waiting staff, absolutely everyone. So there really is no kind of secret cost once you get on board. The service when you are on board is absolutely phenomenal. They really, really do take care of you. I know from personal experience, having been on board, sometimes a couple of years between, and you get to that just check in and they recognize you straight away and they say, Megan, welcome home. And it's just the best feeling ever. The bar staff remember your favorite order, whether it's a gin and tonic and you specifically like a slice of cucumber instead of lemon. They remember all those little details, and it's, I mean, I don't know how they do it. It's absolutely incredible. All the crew are hired specifically for their attitude and their way of working rather than the service they have. We know we can train people to mix different cocktails and serve drinks, but if they don't have that right attitude, then they're not a Crystal member of staff. We have 24-hour room service. So if at any point you get a little bit peckish or you fancy a drink, whether that's a bottle of champagne while you're getting ready in your room, whatever it is, they're there to help you. Check-in is absolutely amazing. You get on board, they like to do check-in wherever we can on the ship. So rather than doing it in the port area, we get you on the ship, glass of champagne on hand and take care of you from there. We have all of our ships really are designed to have the most space per guest. So as I said, we are kind of mid-sized ships. They could probably carry upwards of about 1,500, 1,600 passengers. We carry around the 850 mark on both of our ocean ships. So that means that when we're talking about coming back to cruising after COVID and we're all quite wary of having all that kind of space, there's plenty of space on the ship. You're always going to get a sun lounger by the pool. There's never any queues to get into any restaurants because there's so much choice and much fewer guests on board. Everyone kind of naturally kind of mingles and spaces themselves out. In the majority of our staterooms, they all have their own private veranda and we don't have any inside cabins. So our entry level of accommodation will be with a nice big ocean view window. And you can see there from the pictures, the staterooms are just absolutely stunning. And then quality. So everything on board, whether it's from our entertainment down to the table linen and the china we use for dining, it is all the best quality. We've got Tony Award-winning artists that come on board. We've got a theatre show that is put on by some guys that won America's Got Talent. So we've got some really amazing entertainment and one of the most impressive wine cellars at sea. And when I tell you they have so many complimentary wines, I've been on board and with a group of people that they know their wine and they knew exactly what they wanted. And when they brought over the first bottle of wine, it wasn't right. And we went through quite a few different wines, but they've got such a great range on board that there is something for everybody's taste. And then finally, choice. There is so much choice on board, whether you're looking at shore excursions, whether you're looking at dining, whether you're looking at the spa, there really is something for everyone while you're on board. So what I want to do now is talk to you about where we're going to be this summer, because we're so excited that we're able to kind of sail again this summer. We've all been waiting patiently for the last 12 months to get back to this moment, and it's finally in touching distance. So firstly, this July, Crystal Serenity will be sailing out of the Bahamas. So this is, we've worked really closely with the tourism board in the Bahamas, and this itinerary has been put together so it doesn't cross any international borders. So we don't have to worry about whether any of the rules change in different countries. And so we'll be sailing through July all the way through to October currently, but that might get extended. The Bahamas is such an amazing destination with the pink sand beaches, swimming with the pigs. There's so much to see and do. Now we have best available fares on this from just £1,759 per person. Now that's for an ocean view category, and what we've done, where it's the best available, they've common rated all of our ocean view accommodations, so you will get the best available suite at the time of booking. So it really pays if you're interested in these to kind of book early, because the fares are all common rated, so those better suites will go quicker. With this, you will also get $125 per person to spend on board, so that might be for a nice spa treatment or a nice handbag in the duty free. If you have sailed with us before, they have doubled the society discount to 5% discount, but if you are new to Crystal, you will benefit from a 2.5% discount on that cruise. and the reduced deposit at the moment with our Easy Book promotion of just 15%. So that's where Crystal Serenity will be this summer. And a sister ship, Crystal Symphony, will be in the Caribbean, so not too far away. And this will be sailing all the way through August, all the way through till Christmas sailings, home porting in Antigua, and this is 10-night itineraries. Again, absolutely beautiful itinerary, and we've worked really, really closely with the guys in the Caribbean to make sure that we can run this and operate this exactly as a Crystal cruise would previously. So again, we've got the best available fares here, starting at just over £2,500 per person. Again, you've got $200 there on board credit, as well as the double discount or the new to Crystal discount. Again, they've common rated these fares. So if you're looking at the ocean view, the verandas or our suites, you'll get the best available at the time of booking. And as I said, we're really, really delighted that our brand new and newest ship, Crystal Endeavour, will be launching this July. She's been sat in the shipyard, basically ready for nearly a year now. She was meant to launch in August last year, and she's been sat waiting to have her moment, and it's finally here. So she'll be launching with some 10-night itineraries, sailing around Iceland, so a bit closer to home. These are absolutely stunning itineraries, just absolutely beautiful for whale watching, the scenery, it's absolutely incredible. With these itineraries, absolutely everything is included, and that includes your shore excursions as well. So that's a little bit of a difference here for our new expedition brand. We've got fares there starting from £11,000 per person. You'll get $300 per person shipboard credit, as well as, again, that double discount saving for our past passengers or the new to Crystal discount. These are going to be absolutely incredible sailings. There's just 5 launched at the moment, and they are already selling so well. So I just wanted to run through then a little bit about how we are looking after you, what some of our protocols are. The guys in the health and safety department have been working really, really hard, kind of digesting all the latest announcements and guidelines. We're on version 4.1 of our protocols, and they're constantly evolving. But at the moment, we are asking guests to be vaccinated. So that's one of the kind of highlights here. We will obviously have all the kind of highest grade ventilation systems and increased cleaning on board as well to keep you safe. We will have contactless dining, so you'll still get that amazing food just without that face-to-face contact and things like that. For our Bahamas itineraries, because we've worked so closely with the tourism board there, and we know that the rate of infection is not too it's really under control there. We will be providing shuttle buses into every port of call, and you will be allowed to get off and just explore the destination as you wish. So you don't need to opt into any of our shore excursions to enjoy that destination. You can go about it as you please. But yes, as I say, you will require a vaccination and proof of that to travel, as well as a negative test before you fly. And then in terms of giving you some confidence to book, if you're looking at any of these 2021 sailings, you're going to benefit from our reduced deposit. The final payment date has been reduced down to just 60 days prior to sailing. So that gives you a bit of time before you pay your final balance to kind of weigh up whether you're comfortable to go, whether any of the guidelines have changed. Hopefully the FCO haven't kind of put a stop on any of the destinations, and we can really enjoy our summer this year. We've also got that reduced cancellation policy there as well. So up to 60 days prior, so before you pay that final balance, you'll be able to cancel with no penalty at all. So that is a very quick overview of Crystal Cruises and what we've got planned for this summer. And hopefully we can't wait to welcome you back on board.
Thank you so much, Megan. Thank you for that. We are looking forward to some of those itineraries. I didn't realise that about the Bahamas, that itinerary, so I've taken note of that one especially for some of our clients. So
yeah.
Thank you so much, Megan. And we'll
no problem.
Afterwards, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We're going to introduce Amanda Midler from Silversea. Again, I haven't seen Amanda for a year, I think now. And Amanda's going to tell us a bit about Silversea Cruises. I think Amanda's here. Amanda, will you unmute yourself?
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes. Hi, how are you?
Lovely to
time no see.
I know, lovely to see you too. So I'm just going to screen share. So I just need to just get my presentation up. There we go. Gosh, it's a total new way of working for us. We love to meet you personally, which is what we would normally do, isn't it, Sharon? But thank you very much to the Cruise Counter today for letting me introduce you to the world of Silversea. I'm going to do a very quick whistle-stop tour to tell you a bit about Silversea tonight. But always, if you want to learn more, you want to talk about itineraries in depth, I am always available to do another Zoom call with the Cruise Counter with you as well. So just to introduce you to the world of Silversea, we're small ship cruising, and we have 10 ships that are sailing, will be sailing. They're not sailing at the moment, but they very shortly hope to be sailing. On the top line, you'll see our classic ships. And the first 4 would have approximately 600 guests on board. We have up to 10 dining venues and nearly 1-to-1 guest to crew ratio. Silver Whisper and Silver Shadow are slightly smaller. They're our classic ships as well. They would have 4 dining venues on board. And then on the bottom row, you can see Silver Wind, Cloud, Explorer and Origin. They're our expedition ships. And I know a few people will say, oh, what's expedition? What does that mean? So those are our ships that I would say soft adventure. So we go to the very remote parts of the world. You can go down to Antarctica, you can go up to the Arctic, and Silver Origin is purposely built to go to the Galapagos. She's a brand new ship. She actually launched in the middle of the pandemic. No passengers have yet been on, but she's waiting there in the Galapagos, and we believe she may be our second ship to sail very soon. So that's Silver Origin down in the Galapagos with only 100 guests on board. So we're known because we are the small ships, and we can go to these very different ports that the big ships can't go to. So every year we visit over 900 different destinations. If one of the mainline cruise companies had our ships, they'd have over double the capacity. So the maximum we would have on board is 608 guests. We're nearly at 1-to-1 guest to crew ratio, and I'm going to show you some of the, one of the suites in a minute, but the size of the suites, it's all suite accommodation. It starts at 376 square feet. So what's included, and first of all, I know very importantly is having a look at your accommodation. So we are, as I said, all suite, and every suite has its own separate lounge area. You have a beautiful walk-in wardrobe. So as you go down the corridor just before your bedroom is a lovely walk-in wardrobe, loads of space to hang your clothes. There's drawers, the safe, the fluffy dressing gown, the slippers, the umbrella and everything. And then you walk into your suite. Now we lead in with what's called a vista suite, and that would be a big outside facing picture window. We have a fridge in there that's restocked twice a day by your butler. So every suite, no matter what category, has a butler service. And when you arrive, you get to choose all your toiletries, and then the butler will say, now what would you like to drink? And you can choose all your litre bottles of spirits, your champagne, wine, beer, and all your mixes. And as I say, every time you go back in your suite, you'll find your ice buckets refilled, your lemons are sliced, all ready for you to go. What's lovely as well on the picture here, you can see at the bottom, is the bathrooms. Now the bathrooms are the most beautiful size. You've got a full size bathtub, it's Italian marble, and then on the other side that you can't see in this picture is a full-size rainforest shower as well. So the suites are absolutely beautiful, and here we are. This is a better picture, so you can just see the colour schemes, and this is on all the ships, so you can see what the suites actually look like. Then I thought I'd just give you a quick little look at the pool deck, because we're all longing to be sat on a pool deck now, aren't we? There's no need to nudge your husband at 8 o'clock in the morning and say, go and put the towels out. Whatever time of the day that you go down to the pool, there is always sun loungers. And what you can't see is at the top here on the top deck, there's all lovely cabana beds, and the sunbeds when it's a full sunny day. All the sun loungers go right to the back of the ship where there's another hot tub as well. We've got a full bar service, and there's a bar here on the left at the bottom of the picture you can't see, and also on the other side is a grill. So if you wanted to have a light lunch, you know, a Caesar salad, a piece of grilled fish, a hamburger, that type of thing, you can sit there on the pool deck as well and have your lunch. So there's lots and lots of space for everybody. And then I know when you cruise, it's all about the dining experiences, and I haven't today got time to go through everything. My favourite is the grill. That would be quite casual dining. So it's up on the pool deck, you get this hot rock served, you choose your cut of meat or fish, the waiter brings all your chips, your potatoes, your salad, your sauces and everything. And it really is quite casual dining. You can go down to Silver Note, that was like our jazz bar, so you can go down and eat and listen to jazz at the same time. Atlantide is our seafood and meat restaurant. There's a beautiful bar area in there, so you can go and sit and have a glass of champagne before you go into dinner if you like as well. Indochine, that's our Asian fusion, so it's a mix of Indian, Chinese, Malaysian, Japanese. It's a real mix, but absolutely beautiful food in there. And then very recently we've launched 315 voyages. We've got 61 new maiden ports. That's all new to Silversea. So they start from March 22. Those are all our new collection of voyages that have just come out. And we're on sale now until May 23. We had some very exciting news in the last few days. We've announced our return to sail. And I mentioned to you about Silver Origin, which is our ship based in the Galapagos. Well, we also had a new ship, Silver Moon, and she's going to be the flagship of our fleet. And she's going to sail from Athens starting on I think it's the 18th of June this year. So we're really excited, some really beautiful itineraries. And, you know, it's great that we're getting the ships back sailing again. So they're going to cover the Greek islands. You've got some Israel in there, and there's also some Cyprus. So I've just put these itineraries just to show you. This first one starts on the 18th of June, and it repeats every other week. Quite a lot of people are doing the 2 cruises back to back. So the first one is 10 days, and this one covers all the Greek islands. And then the next cruise, which will be every other week, is Greece and the Holy Land. So the only place you actually repeat is Rhodes. So that would be the only place if you were looking at doing a back-to-back. But there's 2 really lovely 10-night itineraries. Silver Moon is going to be absolutely gleaming. The staff are all ready to take guests on board. And as I say, it is our brand new ship ready to sail. What is really special as well about Silver Moon is we've introduced the salt concept. So salt is sea and land taste, and what we're going to do is we're going to bring the local flavour onto the ship. So we will have in the salt restaurant, it'll be local cuisine. It will be, so you get all the local flavors. When you go in the salt bar, it'll be all the local drinks, as in you will get to, you know, if you were, say, for instance, in where do we get a local drink? Well, say you were in the Caribbean, well, it would be all rum flavored, so you get that lovely Caribbean rum cocktail flavor, and wherever you are. So it's going to bring you really into to really get to experience and taste the destination, as well as getting to see it when you're out and about off the ship as well. So just to give you an idea, this is one of our voyages next summer. 22 is absolutely flying. And what's really interesting as well, we're having the most incredibly busy time, busier than normally even for when we've not got the pandemic. And our top selling destination always is the Mediterranean. So we've got this cruise. I just thought I'd show you. This is Venice to Venice on Silver Spirit. So one of our ships for 600 guests with the 10 dining options. And this is June the 17th. Now, when you fly, when you cruise with Silversea, if you go to the Med or you go to Northern Europe, it's business class flights. It's all your transfers, and then it's your cruise included, and then everything on board. So for Mediterranean, Northern Europe, it's business class. For everywhere else, for all your long haul destinations, it's economy, but we do offer a business class. You can upgrade to business class, and normally on the long haul there's a pre-night stay in a hotel as well. So your price there for a Vista Suite leads in at £3,130, and that one is a lovely itinerary. I just love it because of all the Croatia stops that you've got there as well. So I just wanted to quickly, just to finish off, just remind you of everything that's included. So I've said to you about your flights. From May 22, all your shore excursions are included as well. So all your trips are there. A butler service in every suite. And one of the lovely things that makes Silversea stand out is we don't categorise. So whether you're in a Vista suite or whether you're in the owner's suite, you get exactly the same. You go to the same restaurants, you get exactly the same service. And you've got the multiple options for dining. Now, one of the really nice things is, I showed you some of the restaurants. You can dine anywhere at any time with anyone. And, you know, if you go in the bar and you meet people and you meet friends and you all decide to walk down to dinner together, you can absolutely do that. If you want a table for two, then you can just go down and ask for a table for two as well. All your beverages, so your butler's going to set you up a bar in your suite. So all your beverages, but all around the ship, so your cocktails, your champagne, your premium spirits, your premium wines, soft drinks, everything's included. Your gratuities as well. So, you know, I always say it's not what you pay often to get on the ship, it's what you pay to get off. But with Silversea, you should get off the ship without anything to pay. And then, of course, you've got unlimited Wi-Fi as well. Now, we've got lots of Cruise with Confidence. We've got lots of different promotions on at the moment. So you've got your reduced deposit with 15%. We've got an early booking. So if you book and pay in full, you can have up to 20% off the price. And then I just wanted to tell you as well, the Cruise with Confidence, you can actually book your cruise and cancel up to 30 days before departure. And that's until the 31st of May 21 at the moment. And then just because you've spent some time with me today, the guys at the cruise counter have got a £200 per person event savings certificate off. So if you see any voyages, or if you want to talk with me and go through some voyages in more detail, we can look at that, and you get £200 per person off the selling price. Now, I know I've whizzed through that. That is my presentation. I was given 10 minutes to stick to, wasn't I, Sharon? So thank you very much for listening to me. I have got lots more to tell you. So, you know, please use the guys at the cruise counter. The knowledge is incredible. And, you know, as I say, if you want to talk to me further, we can do that. Thank you, Sharon. I hope that was 10 minutes.
Yes, thank you so much, Amanda. I know we're running over time a little bit, but I really like that itinerary, Venice to Venice, because it seems more expensive, but with all the things that are inclusive and your business class flight from here, it also means you're in a smaller cabin on the aircraft. So you've got that little bit of more space per passenger even on the flight. So thank you so much. And I've taken note of some of these for myself.
Good.
Thank you, Amanda. And it'll be lovely to see you in the flesh again soon too.
Very soon, I hope. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Now, we're going to swiftly move on to Pauline, who's eagerly waiting in the wings to get telling you all things celebrity. I know she doesn't have too much time either because we have another section, but Pauline will whiz through, I'm sure, in her good old Scottish accent. So, Pauline, can we just check if you're available? Okay. Pauline, thank you so much for joining us. I'm just going to let you go on ahead and tell us about celebrity. Thank you.
Perfect, that's great. Thanks so much, Shannon. Thanks for having me. So I'll try and whiz through very quickly in my Scottish accent, so hopefully you'll understand me. If not, I'm sure Sharon can provide subtitles, that'll be fine. So thanks so much for having me. I'm literally just going to give you a whistle stop tour of everything celebrity. So celebrity never before I've ever wanted to be together with people. I'm sure you'll absolutely agree. So we are a mid-size luxury cruise line for the modern traveller. So we've got 14 ships in service at the minute. We've got 3 ships on order, and very excitingly, we are releasing more information on Celebrity Beyond, which is ship number 15, just in the coming days. So keep your eyes and ears posted for that one. We cover many continents and destinations, so literally anywhere that you want to go, Celebrity Cruises does sail to. Focus on what the traveller wants most. So we really you know, want to immerse you in the destinations. So we offer really bespoke curated tours when you're in certain destinations, design excellence as well. So we always make sure that the ships are you know, up to the modern luxury fleet that we promise, and we work with leading architects and designers such as Kelly Hoppin to design our ships. We've got world-class accommodation as well, so we've got gorgeous suites in the retreat and some stunning, you know, stunning staterooms as well. Now, this is my favourite, but culinary. I do like my food, and we have joined forces with Chef Daniel Ballou, and he's joined forces with our own Michelin star chef, Cornelius Gallagher. So they have designed and created all the menus on board, so you are sure to get a good feed when you come on board Celebrity Cruises. And of course, holistic wellness has never been as important as it is just now. So if you need a bit of me time, you need to reconnect with yourself, we have got cutting edge treatments, we've got beautiful aqua class staterooms, and we do work with industry leaders on our programmes. Industry leaders such as Goop. So I have got a short video I just want to show you. Hopefully it works, but Sharon, give me a wave if it doesn't and we'll move on. But this is of our Edge series ship. So this is Edge. So Sharon has been on board. She joined us for a couple of nights. So if this video doesn't work, then she can certainly fill you in on the rest. So I'm sure that brings back some amazing memories for you, Sharon. So our Edge series ships are our newest ships, and it's very unique and timeless, the culinary proposition. So instead of just one main dining on board Edge, we do offer 4 dining restaurants. And then there's also exclusive restaurants for our suite guests and our aqua class guests. If you want something a little bit special, we've got 7 specialty restaurants that you can visit, along with 11 bars and lounges. And I've definitely tried every single one of them and can recommend. And then the magic carpet is very unique to Celebrity Cruises. This is an absolutely amazing destination in itself. So it's the size of a tennis court, and it goes to 4 different levels on the ship. So the first being deck 16, where you can experience dinner on the edge. So you're literally on the magic carpet, and whatever port of call you might be in, the chef designs a menu around that port of call, and you can enjoy a fabulous 7-course dinner. That then goes down to deck 14, to the resort deck where the pool area is, and you can go and get a bit of shade from the sunshine and enjoy a cocktail or 2 on the magic carpet. If you fancy a bit of sushi, deck 5 is where it's at, and you can go and try the sushi and the seafood restaurant there. And then heading down to deck 2, when the ship is in a tender port, instead of having to try and clamber onto the tender boats, you just seamlessly walk off the platform and onto the Edge launches, which makes things much more easy and much more elegant when you're trying to get off looking all suave and sophisticated rather than bundling on a little boat. So I just really want to highlight, you know, where Celebrity comes on its own. So the retreat is a great part of Celebrity Cruises. So you might think that small is always luxury, but at Celebrity we can absolutely do both if you stay in the retreat. So it's a ship within a ship proposition. So you've got the small intimate feel of a small ship, but you can go out and you know, shop in the designer boutiques, go out for a show, you know, try one of these specialty restaurants. So you definitely don't need to go to bed at 9 o'clock on board a Celebrity ship. So if you did look at, you know, booking one of our retreats, so suite staterooms, then more so when it comes to more luxury is more. So you would get access to the sun deck. So this is only for suite guests. So a nice chilled out area. If you want to go in the plunge pool or the whirlpool, then you can certainly do that. You've also got butlers on hand that will go and get you drinks and snacks, fresh towels, anything that you desire. And then if you want to go and relax, we've got a 24/7 retreat lounge, again exclusive for our suite guests. So there's drinks, gourmet bites, and a dedicated concierge, so you can sit and plan the rest of your trip in the lounge. And then exclusive restaurant Lumine. So tonight's menu is one of a kind every single night. So as I mentioned before, Chef Daniel Blue does design all the menus and dishes in Lumine, so you get a real speciality dining experience every single night, and you can actually dine in there breakfast, lunch and dinner. So we've got so many different suites available, but this is my absolute favourite, is the Edge villa. So it's 2 stories. Up the stairs is the bedroom, where there's floor to ceiling glass, so you can lie having breakfast in bed, watching the world float by, or head down the stairs, relax in the lounge area, step onto the balcony where the sun's beating down on you, and then if you need to cool off, you've got your own private plunge pool. That is certainly my happy place, is the Edge villa. Okay, and just to make things really simple, Celebrity Cruises are always included. So that's drinks, tips and Wi-Fi as standard for every single sailing, every single person. So there's no price gimmicks, there's no flat sales, it is always included all of the time. Booking with Thomson Travel International, and that is $100 per stateroom on board credit. So as well as being always included, we are giving you some spending money on board as well. So that needs to be booked by the 27th of April. So if you do have any inquiries or want any prices, then certainly get in touch with the team. I'm also available if you do want to speak to me about any itineraries or find out anything more about the ship. But Sharon has definitely experienced Celebrity 2 or 3 times, so I can tell you all about it. And that is it in a nutshell. So thanks so much for having me, and thanks for your time.
Thank you so much, Pauline. Thank you for your time as well. And I know it's getting late on Thursday night, but hopefully again I'll see you in the office soon. You've been a great support to us as a company.
Fingers crossed.
Had to move and everything. So thanks again, Pauline, for joining us. And I'm sorry, folks, we are running a little bit late, and we have just one more section of our programme to do. And this is a section where we sort of bring ocean cruising towards river cruising. And we have three sort of slots tonight, but Will Young will be speaking to us from Scenic and Emerald, and Will looks after ocean cruises and river cruising. But I often think of a quote from Howard Bloomfield. I don't know if anyone has ever heard of him, but Howard Bloomfield was a famous magazine editor in New York quite a number of years ago, and he wrote a book called Sailing to the Sun. I think it was just after World War II, but that he gave this scenario of cruising having 2 pleasures. One's to go out in wider waters from a sheltered place, and the other is to go into a sheltered place from wider waters. And that's probably the way I see cruising and river cruising, and those 2 things link very well. So I'm going to hand over to Will now from Scenic and Emerald. He'll explain the difference to you both, and we'll ask him to maybe if he can do his presentation as quickly as possible, because I know time's going on. Thank you very much.
I'll just carry straight on, Sharon,
yes,
into Emerald as well.
So
thanks. It's getting dark in Helensburgh here. Hope you're all well. So I'm going to cover Scenic Eclipse initially. This is a relatively new ship, and I would be here for 2 hours, but anyway, I'm going to continue quickly. And this is 228 passengers. It's all balcony. It's got 2 helicopters on board, a submarine, James Bond, and it's got 10 restaurants as well. I've got a lovely little video to play you just to give you a bit of an introduction to Scenic Eclipse in a second. I'll forget to mention it's all inclusive as well. Door-to-door transfers, pick you up from the house, take you to the airport, butler service, all your drinks, all your tours. The only extra is the helicopter and the submarine.
Scenic Eclipse, the world's first discovery yacht.
So I was lucky enough to do the cruise on Eclipse in the Caribbean, which was amazing. This is the observation deck out the very front, so you can get to it close. And the ship's so small, it gets into all the little ports and areas. As I mentioned, all your meals and beverages included. So there's 10 different restaurants, so you can have I think they do haggis as well. I can't remember. I think they did a wee something. This is the yacht club on board. This is a nice relaxing place to sit and have a lot of like the breakfast and your lunch as well. And then there's a nice outdoor area where you can sit in the Mediterranean and look out and just enjoy it all. And then they have lovely cabanas on deck 10. So it's all about relaxation on the ship, and it's all about luxury, and then obviously a discovery as well. This is the new panorama bar they've put into the ship. It's sitting in Croatia just now, waiting to sail, hopefully not too far away. And then this is a helicopter. There's two on board. I was lucky enough to fly off the islands of Honduras. This is me landing back on the ship. It's only for 20 seconds, but it's interesting to see and get that feel. So helicopter is chargeable, and then you've got Scenic Neptune. This is the submarine. It takes up to 6 passengers, and it goes down to a depth of 300 meters. It just depends on the area that's cruising in. So this is where we're cruising. We're cruising basically everywhere now. We're doing Japan. We've got the Northwest Passage now as well, and we're also doing the Northeast Passage. We do North, Central and South America, some beautiful itineraries down here. And you can also do extensions onto South America, you know, do some land extensions. This is a hotel I stayed at in Patagonia. It's just stunning. This is the Salto Chico Explora Patagonia Hotel. We stayed here for 3 nights, so it's a nice extension if you want to do a bit of Patagonia. Then we do a lovely extension to Iguazu. We had 3 nights here as well. This is the Belmontes Cataratas. So there's some great options for you. We also do a nice little extension into the Amazon basin. This is a Delphin 3, so you can have a wee cruise in the Amazon as well. And that's look at the windows and imagine just looking out there. Absolutely beautiful. We do the Europe area, we do the Mediterranean as well, the Greek islands, all these different places. Can you imagine flying with a helicopter over the Arctic and the fjords as well? And there's the Zodiacs. This is how it all works in Antarctica, and out with all the Discovery team learning about what's happening around you. And that's the ship in the Weddell Sea and the Antarctica. It pulls right up onto the ice. People can just walk off and have a wee chat to the penguins, saying hello to them all. So some nice itineraries out there. I mean, it's not the cheapest cruise in the world, but everything is included. So it's something, a bit of a bucket list. You've got some nice Antarctica. You've got some nice inside passage cruises, Baja and Costa Rica as well, down the coast of Mexico. Or you can do the Aegean and the Western Europe discoveries as well. Introducing for 2023, we have Siberian and the Russian Arctic, so it's something totally different. I've never done this area yet, so I hope I get on it. I hope we all go together. Anchorage to Tromsø, and then we're doing 2 cruises around the coast of Japan now as well, and that will go into South Korea also. And then this is Osaka to Sapporo. So the early birds are out now. Sharon and the team can talk to you about all those specials. So just a quick mention on Scenic River Cruising. I'm going as fast as I can here, Sharon, don't you worry. But river cruising is all about seeing places, and this is one of the scenic ships on the Moselle River, and you only unpack once. I think that's the major message with river cruising. And this is the ship into Avignon, and then we go to the Pope's Palace at night, and you have a beautiful meal and a concert in the place where the Popes used to have a wee holiday. So Avignon's absolutely stunning. So all the rivers that we do the Douro, the south of France, we do the Bordeaux, the Seine from Paris to Normandy beaches. Obviously we do the Danube and the Rhine as well. And we have 2 itineraries in Russia, which is Moscow, St. Petersburg, or Moscow to Stalingrad. So there's really 2 nice itineraries in Russia as well. This is a typical balcony suite on a scenic river ship, just to give you an idea of how it looks inside. All inclusive, minibar, everything in there for you. Nice window as well that goes up and down. And this is Budapest. This is a highlight for many people on the Danube. And this is the Parliament building. We dock directly across from that. And that's your view. So it's all inclusive, as I mentioned, door-to-door transfers as well within 75-mile radius. There's the lovely butlers. They'll come and look after you, make sure you have a wonderful cruise. And then we have a great GPS device as well on board. And you can load it onto your phone now. We have an app, and that tells you what's happening around you. So you put the earphones in, and it tells you the history and the areas that you're traveling through. And there, all your tours are included as well. So this is some little tours that we offer, and just to give you it's a wee video just to give you a bit of a snapshot.
Scenic has hand-picked the best activities that Europe has to offer and has included them in our Scenic Free Choice selection. Scenic Free Choice is a diverse selection of activities that we offer to you in key cities and regions, allowing you to enjoy what interests you most at a pace that suits you most, from relaxed to active. You will appreciate the range of activities that Scenic Free Choice provides. While cruising from Amsterdam to Budapest, from the German port of Passau, you can choose to visit Salzburg, Austria, setting of the Sound of Music and the birthplace of Mozart, or choose a full-day excursion to the beautiful World Heritage-listed town of Český Krumlov, one of the best-preserved Gothic towns in Europe. In the Austrian town of Melk, you can choose to explore the spectacular 18th century Benedictine Abbey, or if you're feeling more active, take a guided cycling tour along the Danube, through the Wachau Valley on one of our e-bikes. On our South of France river cruise, in the city of Lyon, you can choose to explore this beautiful town by bike, visit a traditional silk factory, the medieval village of Pérouge, or tour the exclusive Paul Bocuse Culinary School. With over 100 scenic free choice activities on offer, there really is something for everyone. And because your free choice activities are included, there is nothing more to pay. So you're free to choose what interests you most. Experience Europe your way.
So as you can see, lots and lots of choices for you. So quickly on to Emerald Cruises now. I've done well there, Sharon, I think. Got that one out of the way quickly. So Emerald Cruises started in 2014. So we do river predominantly, and we do the Mekong as well, Vietnam and Cambodia. But we're just, at the moment, we're building a new ship called Emerald Azura. And it takes 100 passengers, and that'll be doing like the Mediterranean and into the Red Sea. So very excited to have this ship, and it'll start sailing in January 2022. So very exciting times ahead, and can't wait. This is what it's going to look like. This is CGI, obviously, because the ship's not 100% ready yet. But it's got a beautiful infinity pool area. It's got nice lounges to sit on and relax, have a wee cocktail. And then you've got the sky deck and the spa pool up there as well. And then we have wee movie nights under the Iberian sunshine. How good, oh, no, sorry, sunshine, under the Iberian stars. What am I talking about? You know what I mean? So you can watch James Bond at night, have a wee drink and just watch a movie. This is what the Horizon Bar and Lounge will look like as well. So it's really nice inside. You've got the restaurant. Little bit different with Emerald. You don't have the butler service, and it's only beer, wine and soft drinks with your lunch and dinner. But sometimes we have drinks packages included. So just keep an eye out that. Sharon and the team can check that out for you. This is the terrace outside as well. And then you have a lovely observation lounge, very similar to the Scenic Eclipse. So all the suites are queen size. You've got the water, you get the Wi-Fi included. All the tippings included as well. Scottish people just love that. Sorry, we always get a bad name, don't we? But this is an ocean view stateroom. This is your lead-in category. It's a picture window. So that would be your lead-in category on board. And then you have the next category is your balcony stateroom. So a lovely outside area there as well. And then you have a next stage is your deluxe balcony, which is a little lounge area and bedroom off to the side. Obviously the balcony as well. And then the terrace suite with that lovely area outside. And then the yacht suite. So lots of different categories on here. It's fantastic. So lots of space on board, and then you've got the owner's suite. So there's two of these at the very front of the ship. I could just live out there quite happily cruising the world. That'd be great. So it gets you into places that the big ships once again can't get into, so you're not stuck on coaches and tenders for a long time. So this is the areas it's going to be cruising: the Western Med, the Adriatic coast, the Eastern Med, the Red Sea, which is really exciting. That's the first cruise going out in January next year. And then obviously into we're going to be doing the Black Sea as well. So the Red Sea is a bit of a highlight. I was talking to Sharon about that earlier today. And this is some of the itineraries that we do. We've got the 8-day best I can't read the bloody thing, it's behind the pictures, but anyway, you know what I mean. We're doing the Holy Land as well, in the Holy Land in Egypt, and then we can discover the whole area. You can join the itineraries together and do the whole part of that. So through the Suez Canal as well, which is open now, which is great. And then we'll be doing the Black Sea in 2023, so something very exciting there, going through Istanbul and into that area as well. So there's great deals at the moment, up to 30% off, so you can inquire about the prices that are out there. This is just some of the deals. We've got some nice itineraries: Athens to Athens, Nice to Rome, you got Limassol, you've got Venice to Dubrovnik, so some great options there. And you'll know that is really well, Sharon, so you can talk about that when people inquire. So great deals. They were including the deposit protection plan as well, and we're saving up to 30%. But quick look at river cruising with Emerald, and then I'll dart off and let you get to your bed or whatever. So Emerald River Cruising, we do all the rivers in Europe. We have this is Portugal, the Douro, which is just absolutely beautiful. We do the Mekong as well. All your meals included there, beer, wine and soft drinks for your lunch and dinner. Great service, tables of 2, 4, 6 and 8 also. And then this is a panorama balcony suite to give you an idea. This is the kind of middle of the range suite on board. It's got that beautiful big floor to ceiling windows as well. Twin beds, or you can go into queen size also. There's Budapest outside again. And then it has a wee interesting thing at the back. It has a lovely pool area. And it's just something very unique for river cruising in Europe, and it changes of an evening.
Unlike other river cruise lines on Europe's waters, Emerald Waterways' brand new boutique ships boast a heated pool with a retractable roof and a bar, creating a beautiful onboard oasis for you to relax in whatever the weather. On selected evenings, the pool area inventively transforms into a cinema with comfy lounge chairs, where you can enjoy classic films and recent releases, taking onboard entertainment in a completely different direction. So, if you're not in the mood to enjoy the bar or ready to retreat to your room, the cinema is a great place to spend your evening.
Yeah, so it's something really unique. They don't do as many rivers as Scenic, but they do the Douro, which is wonderful, the south of France, and obviously we do the Rhine, the Main, and the Danube, all the way down to the Black Sea. Here's a quick little video on the Danube, just to show you how that river looks. It's one of the most popular, obviously.
The Danube is one of the most famous rivers in the world, and the name alone evokes romantic images of fairy tale castles, sounds of Strauss, and the delights of some of Europe's most impressive cities. Stretching for over 2,000 miles through 10 countries, this is the longest river in the European Union, and with Emerald Waterways, we'll take you on a journey of discovery through some of its most picturesque parts. You can choose to join your Danube cruise in either Nuremberg or Budapest, where you'll cruise for a leisurely 8 days. Some of the highlights include Passau with its cobbled streets and graceful arcades, Dürnstein, one of the most enchanting villages of the Wachau wine region, and Melk with its 900-year-old Benedictine Abbey. In Vienna, you can take a horse-drawn carriage ride, shop in the impressive boulevards, and for an additional charge, enjoy a delightful classical recital in a traditional concert hall. We'll take you on a guided tour of Budapest, one of Europe's liveliest and cosmopolitan cities, while in Bratislava you'll have the chance of joining a local Slovakian family for tea and cake. Enjoy the delights of the Danube from the comfort of one of Emerald Waterways' new starships, while enjoying a fully inclusive service we call Exceptional Emerald Value.
That music makes you want to sway. I'll just quickly mention the Douro. I did this a couple of years ago. I did it with Jane McDonald was on as well, and she did the Channel 5 show. So this is Porto. It's one of the most nicest cities I've ever been in. It's just beautiful. Easy flight down there as well. So it's a lovely itinerary. You go up to the Spanish border, and then you'll go to Salamanca for the day, come back to the Spanish border and cruise back. And this is a couple of pictures I took myself. It's always nice to put your own images on. I think this is us just, it was 37 degrees up that day. There's a pool up there, and it's just such a lovely, look at the scenery. The Douro is absolutely stunning if you've not done that one before. The bridges and cruising through all the vineyards and the port, obviously where they make all the port as well. And this is us waiting for a little ship to come through. Look how narrow it gets. This is another picture I took, and then you go through there. And there's only 5 locks on that river also. So it's all about health and safety. As the other guys have mentioned, we'll have medical evaluation tests when we start sailing again. The air's drawing in constantly. It's not circulating around the ship all the time. We always were about health and safety, but obviously with things at the moment, we've had to enhance. So we are ready to sail. So hopefully it's not too far away. And for coming tonight and for listening in, we're offering for Thomson Travel International on the cruise counter, we're offering an additional £250 per person discount if you book within 7 days. I'll not worry about the £150 per person because I think you're going to book within 7 days anyway. What about that? So there you go. Thanks very much. That was a whiz one, but thank you.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much. Your usual charm got us through that and all your experiences. And I've been on that Danube cruise myself and it was excellent. I love it.
And it's getting dark here.
Yeah. We'll be in touch with you.
All right. Thanks everyone and all the best. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So thank you everyone for bearing with us. I know we're running about 10 minutes behind time. And we now have Hugh on from A-Rosa River Cruise. I've been on, I think, almost all of A-Rosa's ships. I absolutely love them. They are very affordable and we take some of our groups on these ships as well. So I'd like to welcome Hugh just to give us a quick overview of the A-Rosa River Cruise. Thank you, Hugh. Are you there, Hugh? Hugh, have you unmuted? I might have to speak on A-Rosa myself. Can you show me, Hugh?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, Hugh. Thank you.
Okay, let's go. Right. Welcome to A-Rosa, everybody. A-Rosa is. Can you hear the video?
Following my heart on windblown waves, so wild and free. Following my heart, joining worlds apart. That's what waits for me. Following my heart, following my heart. On board A-Rose that sails the sea, in a brand new port. Following my heart, that's what I will be. Hold me, but don't hold tight. Right now, anchors away feels right. Oceans that reach out for the skies make me rise. Following my heart, following my heart. I'm in the waves, so wild and free. Following my heart, joining worlds apart. That's what waits for me. Following my heart, following my heart.
Thank you. A-Rosa is different to all other river cruise lines because we offer a more flexible approach to river cruising, which means that excursions, for example, are not included in the price. But as you can see from this list, everything else is. And the most particular thing that's different is our style of dining, because you can eat whenever you want pretty much on an A-Rosa ship within a particular, you know, from say 7 o'clock till 9 o'clock in the evening, because it's a gourmet buffet style, which is wonderful food. But it does give that flexibility. So you can go for a lovely stroll ashore and then come back and eat whenever you want. You're not restricted to the structures that the ship, the river ship, other river ships sort of insist on. The cabins are very spacious, they're very contemporary, and the most popular ones are the ones you can see at the top with the Juliet balcony or the French balcony. And they're all very well appointed and very comfortable. On each ship there is a spa or a pool, which is great in the summer, and you can imagine sailing on some of the lovely rivers that I'm going to tell you about in a minute. And the spa is particularly attractive for people who've maybe been out for an extensive walking exploration ashore. All the activities and entertainments included. Every evening there'll be a resident DJ playing music, and there's a dance floor, and there's loads and loads of private space. It's a German company, and what that means is the staff are particularly have been with us for many, many years, and they are incredibly well respected, and people love them. For 2022, we have a fantastic new ship running on the Northern Rhine, which is actually has a battery-powered engine. So it's really important for sustainability, which we were trying to save the planet. So basically what it means is that it can sail in and out of ports under battery power, which reduces the pollution, as you can imagine. So very exciting and highly recommended. If you have a wider family, and this is very popular nowadays, a lot of grandparents like to take their children or whole families on holiday. Well, A-Rosa is a great choice for that, because it's very good value for money. As you can see, the children go for under 15 go free. So for a summer holiday in August, say on the Rhine or the Danube or the Rhone, this could be a choice for you. So where do we sail? Excuse me. We sail on the major rivers of Europe, which obviously is the Rhine, the Moselle, the Danube, the French rivers of the Seine and the Rhone, and the River Douro. I'm going to take you through some ideas of some products that you might, or cruises that you might be interested in. So this is the 2022 Expo expedition in the Netherlands. If you're a keen gardener, you will obviously know about this. It only happens once every 10 years. And we have a cruise, in fact, we have 2 cruises that go from Cologne to visit the Expo, sailing through the lovely Dutch waterways. That's really interesting. One of our most popular programs is the 7-night Southern Rhine cruise, which goes from Cologne all the way down to Switzerland. It's quite an adventure, with an overnight stay in Strasbourg, past all the very attractive UNESCO World Heritage Site of the Middle Rhine Valley. And in fact, when you're there, you'll pass the Lorelei Rock, where obviously you'll hear about the legend of the siren that used to slay sailors who went past. So you won't have to worry about that if you travel with A-Rosa. All you'll have is a glass of sparkling wine as you toast the legend as you sail by. The Moselle Valley and the Moselle River is one of the most scenic rivers in Europe, and as you can see, it's all famous for vineyards and history and scenery. We have a lovely 5-night program which you might be interested in. It visits the oldest city in Germany, which is Trier, as you can see there, and it's very attractive it is too. One of the other great joys of river cruising is at Christmas time, and we have a range of festive market cruises that you may well be interested to talk to Sharon about. 4-night programs running before Christmas, and because we're a German company, you get the joy of being you know, the festive time in Germany is something special and really, really popular. Quickly as we go through, on the Danube, our most popular program is the 7-night Danube Classic program. Very, very scenic, but also with overnights, an overnight stay in Vienna, and also an overnight stay in Budapest. And we visit the Melk Abbey, which is a very, very attractive place to stop. And the thing about A-Rosa is that you can explore on your own. So we don't include the excursions in the price. And so somewhere like Melk, for example, you can literally just get off the vessel and walk up to the abbey yourself. So you're not paying for excursions that you don't need or you don't want. On the Rhone in France, we have a lovely, that's the vessel, that's the A-Rosa Stella, a lovely ship, and a summer program that runs from April to October, visiting you know, all the great history and wine areas of this wonderful region. As you can see, the beautiful lavender fields, and the scenery is just fantastic. It goes north up into Burgundy country, where you've got the lovely wines, and then further south into Avignon and Arles. where we stop overnight. And there's nothing more wonderful than staying overnight in Avignon. Literally, we moor very close to the centre of the city, and you can literally walk from there to visit the Palais de Pape yourself, and then in the evening have a lovely stroll through the city centre, and the atmosphere is something special. On the Seine, this is probably my favourite river actually. It's incredibly scenic, and it operates obviously from Paris all the way through to the Normandy coast. As you can see, we have a 7-night programme running through the season. It has an overnight stay in both Paris and Rouen, so lots of opportunity for independent exploration. You can of course join organised tours if you want to. Rouen is particularly interesting actually because it's got lovely botanical gardens, obviously the history of Joan of Arc, and it's a city of clocks. There's a lot of large clocks, as you can see from the picture. But perhaps one of the most incredible places on this cruise is obviously Monet's garden, and that is Howson Garden, in fact, which is a short distance from Vernon, one of the stopping points. And he was obviously famous, which you'll see when you visit there, the lovely bridge over the lily ponds paint, which is absolutely stunning. And then when you head to the north, to the northern part, to Caudebec-en-Coeur, you can take a optional excursion to visit the Honfleur and the Normandy coast. Again, very popular with the Impressionist painters. And one of the joys of that excursion is a stop at a Calvados distillery, which I can vouch for was very entertaining. And finally, last but not least, the Douro Valley is a wonderful place to go and visit. This is our newest vessel. It's the smallest vessel on the fleet. It's only got 62 cabins, which is gives it a nice intimate feel, but it's very much a river of wine, and you'll see that in Porto when we stay overnight, and you can have a visit either independently or optionally to one of perhaps the wine cellars. And then we sail downriver all the way to the Spanish border, and one of the most popular optional excursions is our full-day excursion to Salamanca, which is in Spain. It's a university city. It's very, very historical, and with alleyways and cobble streets and things. And also the drive to and from is very scenic, so that's highly recommended too. So before I go, I just wanted to, I was so passionate about river cruising that I wrote a poem. So I thought I'd recite this to you. The only thing is the screen on my is covered by the, anyway, I'll go. It's called O Mighty River. O Mighty River, how I so love you, you gentle giant from source to sea. Oh, ever-changing river. To be honest, sorry, I do apologise. I can't see I can't see my my poem. But anyway, I hope you like it because I wrote it myself, and it's a very, very river cruising, as you can see from the poem, is something that when you get on board, you will feel a sense of peace, a sense of tranquility, because the beauty as you sail very quietly and slowly downriver is, if you've never done it before, you will just feel it in your heart, and I would highly recommend it to everybody. Thank you for listening on my whistle-stop tour, and I do hope if you've got any questions, please come back to me, but Sharon is there ready if you need any help. We've got some great offers and deals at the moment, so please do talk to her. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Hugh. Thank you for that. And I think if you send us that poem, I would like to put that up on our page because I started to read it myself. Very good, and thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you everyone for joining us. It's been great. I know we've gone over our time a little, and Hugh, just before you go, A-Rosa is one of the river cruise companies that I've worked with a lot because they're very affordable. And for our groups, we have a group going in November on the Rhine with yourselves. I'm familiar with all the places, and all those pictures brought back the memories of being there. Sometimes we get into a bit of a habit and a sort of a rut of the situation we're in now, which will pass, and we will have the freedom to travel again soon. So I just thank you all for joining us. If you have any questions, as I say, I know we haven't had time and don't want to take up any more of your time, but if you can send them through to jason@thompsontvl.co.uk, if you email them through, or if you ring our office, we're open from 10 to 4. And we're very glad to announce that from the 4th of May, after the bank holiday, we will be coming back into the office to be able to see you face to face. So well, I think that's the way I've always run my business for the last 26 years, is having people through the door and sitting chatting to them. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you to all the suppliers for committing to us on an evening, and take care, and hopefully we'll see you soon. Thank you very much.